These cases baffled investigators, inspired legends, and never got closure. They are the stories that keep detectives up at night, the ones that become cautionary tales whispered around campfires, you know? For decades, they've remained stubbornly, frustratingly open. We're talking about killers who faded into the night, hijackers who leapt into legend, and victims whose last moments are forever shrouded in mystery. These aren't just files gathering dust. They are gaping wounds in history, reminders that sometimes the truth is the most elusive thing of all, and the questions they raise are just as chilling today as when the headlines first broke. But what if we could get a glimpse into the heart of these mysteries? Today, we are diving headfirst into the abyss, exploring 5 unsolved cases, quick breakdowns, key leads, and why they still matter. We're going to look at the evidence, weigh the theories, and confront the lingering questions that have haunted generations. From cryptic messages sent to the press to a man who literally vanished into thin air, it's a journey into the darkest corners of criminal history. We're going to tackle some of the most infamous cold cases of all time. Modern folklore, the Zodiac Killer, D.B. Cooper, the Freeway Phantom, Jack the Ripper, and the Black Dahlia. Each one is a labyrinth of clues and dead ends. We're going to navigate them together, all in 5 minutes. Let's get into it. Our first case takes us to late 1960s Northern California, a time of supposed peace and love. But a shadow was lurking. This shadow called himself the Zodiac. He wasn't just a killer, a performer who craved the spotlight. His reign began with brutal, seemingly random attacks on young couples in secluded areas. David Faraday, Betty Lou Jensen, Darlene Ferrin, Cecilia Shepard, Paul Stein, lives cut short. What set him apart was his communication. He didn't just kill, he bragged, taunting letters and ciphers to newspapers, most famously, the Chronicle. "This is the Zodiac speaking," the letters began. He claimed a higher body count, playing a twisted game with the public. 4 ciphers, the Z408 cracked by a schoolteacher and his wife. No name, just a rambling diatribe. The 340 remained unsolved for 51 years, until 2020. The solution deepened the mystery. Again, no name. "I hope you are having lots of fun in trying to catch me." Just more taunts. "I am not afraid of the gas chamber. It will send me to paradise." Even his misspellings became a signature. Suspects became legend. Arthur Lee Allen, a Zodiac brand watch, the right boots, even an ID by a survivor. Yet never enough evidence. Richard Gaikowski, Lawrence Kane. Compelling, but inconclusive. Then, he just stopped. Letters ceased. Attacks ended. He vanished back into the shadows. The persona, however, outlived him. The day before Thanksgiving, 1971, a man in a business suit calling himself Dan Cooper boarded Flight 305. He was calm, unassuming, and ordered a bourbon and soda. He leaned in and whispered, "Miss, you'd better look at that note. I have a bomb." The hijacking had begun. His demands: $200,000 in unmarked 20s and 4 parachutes. He was polite, ensured the crew was fed, while the jet circled Seattle. A terrifyingly efficient transaction. Passengers released. Skeleton crew remained. He directed a low, slow flight toward Mexico City. Gear down, cabin unpressurized. Somewhere over southwestern Washington, in a raging storm, Cooper lowered the aft stairs and leaped into the night. He was never seen again. One of the most extensive searches in U.S. history found nothing. No body, chute, or briefcase. Only a black clip-on tie remained. Years later, DNA, no match. Then a break. 1980. A boy found $5,800 by the Columbia River. Serial numbers matched the ransom, miles from the projected drop. Was it washed downstream, lost in the jump, or buried and disturbed? Compelling suspects, little hard evidence. The FBI closed the active case in 2016. The legend of the gentleman skyjacker continues to soar. Far less known than Zodiac or Cooper, but no less terrifying: the Freeway Phantom. In 1971-72, young African-American girls vanished from their neighborhoods in daylight. Days later, their bodies were found along major highways. Carol Spinks. Darlenia Johnson, Brenda Crockett, Nenomoshia Yates, Brenda Woodard, Diane Williams. 6 lives stolen. The pattern: abduction, sexual assault, strangulation. 10-year-old Brenda Crockett called from her captor's home. A man's voice coached her in the background, a chilling final plea. Mistrust between police and the black community and limited forensics hampered the case. Leads pointed to a gang linked to a green car, even a former officer, none definitively tied to all crimes. For Washington, D.C., it remains a wound, a promise of justice unfulfilled. London, 1888. In Whitechapel, a killer emerged who shaped the serial killer legend: Jack the Ripper, Mary Ann Nichols, Annie Chapman, Elizabeth Stride, Catherine Eddowes, Mary Jane Kelly. Attacked in dark early hours, throats cut, horrific mutilations, hints of anatomical knowledge. Doctor or butcher? Surgical precision amid savagery-fueled terror. Letters to press and police, some likely hoaxes, stoked panic. A box arrived with half a human kidney. The press created a monster image that endured for over a century. Suspects spanned the spectrum, from local men to royalty and artists. None conclusive. Modern forensic attempts remain controversial and inconclusive. The murders stopped as abruptly as they began. The shadow never truly left. Post-war Los Angeles, the land of dreams. January 15, 1947. A young woman's body was found in a vacant lot, horrifically mutilated, severed, drained, and posed. She was Elizabeth Short, 22, later dubbed the Black Dahlia. Surgical skill suggested. The body had been cleaned, crucial evidence erased, the city fixated. Sensational coverage muddied the investigation with rumors and false confessions. A caller claimed to be the killer and mailed her belongings, wiped with gasoline. Another dead end. Hundreds investigated. Many favor Dr. George Hodel, a respected physician with a dark profile, but no charges. LA's most infamous cold case. A dark stain on the City of Angels. 5 cases. 5 bottomless pits of questions. From coded taunts to surgical precision, they test the limits of investigation. For every promising lead, there's a dead end. For every compelling suspect, an alibi or lack of proof. These aren't just stories. They are real tragedies. Families and communities left without closure. The killers may be long dead, but the ghosts remain. New tech, new theories, new investigators, professional and amateur, keep chipping away. They matter because the victims mattered. There's always a glimmer that one final piece may fall into place. Which case should we dig deeper into? Comment below. Subscribe for more cold case countdowns.